Hello and welcome to February 18th, where we're reading Leviticus chapter 14. Now, this chapter, and yes, there is only one today, it deals with some of the purification rituals that are inherent to making clean the things that are unclean. We talked a lot about yesterday about how different things can make you clean or unclean, what you eat, even childbirth, natural processes, and such like that. Those things can make you unclean, which is, not in perfect state, not in fully complete and normal state, and you need to fix those things before you go before God. That's the idea of uncleanness. Here you talk more about the processes of how you get clean even when you are unclean. So if you want to further detail on what's actually in the chapter 14 deals with a couple of different things. Firstly, it deals with purification from skin diseases. If you have leprosy, if your limbs are rotting off, or if it's just a little spot, some kind of eczema patch that's not quite right. Maybe you have a burn, maybe you have a blister, you just have something that's wrong with your skin. Hey, there's a process you need to go through to make sure, firstly, that that's fine and that's going to heal. God deals a lot with that. And then secondly, you have a process to go through to actually seek purification from that. And so we deal with all kinds of purification rituals that are inherent to trying to cleanse what is unclean. The other thing that chapter 14 goes into is dealing with houses and such like that, because it's not just you that can be unclean, it's actually your property that can also be unclean. And so the idea is that uncleanness is, it can catch. Uncleanness can go beyond just human beings. It can actually go into your homes themselves. If you have mildew, if you have rot, if you have all sorts of things in your house that are bad, you might just need to knock the whole house down and then start over again. And so God deals with uncleanness. He's trying to tell his people that some things are not proper before him. There's some things that are just not great, and you need to repair them as a normal part of life. Your normal life will see you dipping between clean and unclean status, but in order to go before God, you need to be a bit dignified. In order to go before God, you need to clean yourself up to get before him. And so that principle, even though, we don't have to knock down a house that has rot in it anymore, we can just rebuild that under the new law. Even though we don't have to follow the specifics of these laws, the general principles are still pretty good and are still there. Make sure if you're going to go before God, that you're going before him in a clean way, whatever that takes. What kind of sacrifices do you need to offer to be right with God? If you're looking for further detail, you can go into the written page on that. And otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow, where we'll be reading Leviticus 15 and 16 and 17 altogether.